Hello everyone and welcome back. In this very specific tutorial, we'll be talking about how can we improve our English conversation. Well, first of all, English language has become a part of our daily life. And since English language has become an important language, it's an international language, a global language, and a universal language, people around the world try to improve their English language in all aspects, right? Why? Because English language has a great significance. It helps you in your academic studies, it helps you in your professional career, it helps you for better job opportunities. Well, now this video is especially for those students who have a great concern about improving their English conversation. Now, how to improve our English conversation? I've come up with some habits and with some tips and tricks that will help you to improve or enhance your English language conversation. So the first one, let's kick off with the first one, which is reading. Now, I believe that you would be thinking about how can reading be helpful for our English conversation, but it is really helpful and mindful habit for improving your English conversations. For instance, if you cannot speak a word clearly, if you cannot read a word clearly, how can you expect to speak in a better and a fluent way? So first of all, you got to improve your reading. After you improve your reading fluency, your spoken fluency would automatically be improved. So reading has a great significance. I'm going to suggest you people some great novels and some great books that you can go and read it. Number first is The Alchemist, the novel Alchemist. Number second is The Animal Farm. And the third book that I'm going to recommend you people is The Kite Runner. Now, why did I recommend you people these three books? Because these three books are written with the simple terminologies and they have great and fascinating story. Well, now moving ahead towards the second habit that I would like to suggest you people. The second habit that I'm suggesting you people is about watching. Now, what to watch? Obviously, you need to watch native speakers. If it is English movies or if it is English seasons, whatever you are interested in, you need to go for that. But watching native speakers and listening to native speakers give you a great sense of English language, right? Now, make sure whenever you watch English movies or whenever you watch English seasons or any lecture on YouTube, right, there are lots of native speakers or there are lots of great channels such as TED Talks, right? You can follow these channels and you need to listen to different lectures or you need to watch different English movies for improving your English language. Make sure to watch these movies with the subtitles on. Along with that, you need to take note. You need to write down those new vocabularies and new expressions and new idioms you're learning from those movies you're watching. Well, the next habit that I would like to suggest you people is to go for some apps. Now, apps can also play an important role for improving your English conversation. Now, I'm going to suggest you people two apps which are very mindful and which are really helpful, where I also use these two apps because I have personally found it very profound and very helpful for myself as well and for my students as well, right? Now, Pinterest is the app where you can simply use it like social media. You can download the app and sign it through your Gmail accounts, and you can use this app for boards, right? You'd be learning different vocabularies and you'd be learning different idioms from this app. The second app I would like to suggest you people is the BBC English, right? Now, BBC English is an old app for learning English, but it's very profound. Why? Because in BBC English app, right, you'd be finding a lot of interesting stories and a lot of interesting news, daily updates you get, right? So you need to download these two apps and you need to install and sign up for it, right? And you need to put it into your daily practice. Why? Because when you're going for English movies, when you're going for reading books, along with that, you're learning new vocabularies from these apps and you're putting it into practice. And the last habit that I would like to suggest to people for improving your English conversation is practice. Now, in practice even, you need to have multiple practice. For example, number first is finding yourself a partner with whom you practice every day for 30 minutes, for 40 minutes, right? Now, that partner can be anyone. That can be your little brother, that can be your younger sister, that can be your best friend, but you need to have a proper schedule. You need to go for the daily practice of 30 minutes to 40 minutes, right? And things you have learned from these apps and things you have learned from watching movies and things you have learned from reading the 3 books I suggest to you people, right? You need to put it practice there. The second beautiful and helpful habit is that's very quite simple because that's how you should think in English language. Now, thinking in English language is also very important because when you wake up in the morning, obviously you're making a timetable for yourself for the upcoming day, right? So while you're making your plans, you should make and plan things in English language. That's also very helpful for improving your English conversation. And the last practice session that I would like to give you people, I would like to suggest is talk to yourself in front of a mirror, right? And stand in front of a mirror and things you have learned from all these habits I've taught you in this very specific tutorial, right? Try to share those things you have learned. For example, if you've found a beautiful phrase or if you've learned a beautiful vocabulary from watching any movie, right? So you need to note it down, you need to buy a diary for yourself, right? And all things you have learned while standing in front of a mirror, you need to practice those things because when you don't practice things goes out of your mind because when you learn things first, it is in your working memory. You need to store it in your long-term or short-term memory in order to put it into your daily practice. Well, that's it. These were the habits and these were some practice steps I suggested you people in this very specific tutorial. I hope you people have liked the video and I hope these tips and tricks turn out to be helpful for you people. I see you in the next videos. Stay blessed and stay happy.